What's up, everyone? It's Tech Trooper 64, and today, in this day and age, where games like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Fallout 4 exist, is there really a reason for another modern-day open-world game to exist? Well, to that, I say yes and no at the same time, and that's where Watch Dogs came in. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where my review of Watch Dogs 2 for PlayStation 4 Pro. Back in 2013, Ubisoft introduced their new IP, Watch Dogs, and it erupted in great success, garnering over 10 million units shipped worldwide. And here we are, 4 years later, and Watch Dogs 2 is the long-awaited sequel to the 2013 hit, and it aims to fix everything that the first game did wrong. So without further ado, let's take a look at what went right and what went wrong. So the first thing that Watch Dogs 2 did right that the first game didn't do well is that it introduced a main protagonist that actually got me interested. Marcus Holloway is introduced in Watch Dogs 2 in his quest with his hacker buddies, part of DeadSec's group, of continuing the hacker versus the world quest that was shown during the first Watch Dogs. Marcus is sporadic, interesting, and funny all at once. He has more character, he's more vibrant, he's more energetic, and it makes you think that you like the character a lot more than Aiden Pierce in the first Watch Dogs. Comparing to both the first and second Watch Dogs, Aiden Pierce from Marcus Holloway is definitely a huge step up, and that's a huge plus I gotta give to Ubisoft. Not just that, but the game also improves in many different ways that's not related to the story. The story is great and all, but it's not really compelling to me anyways. It is a good story, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it's not an exciting story. The characters are great within it, and you get to really care about the characters within DeadSec. But otherwise, the story isn't something to write home about. The game, however, improves in a great way in terms of gameplay. The driving mechanics have gotten a huge and complete overhaul with the controls, and it's so tight, and it works perfectly. I have to say the controls is probably my favorite thing of Watch Dogs 2. The game plays beautifully, and the controls have been slightly tweaked so that they're not as weird as they were in the first Watch Dogs. I don't know about you, but I wasn't a huge fan of the controls in the first Watch Dogs. Overall, the shift to San Francisco, the new setting for the Watch Dogs 2, is definitely a great move for the franchise. Honestly, Chicago was dim, depressing, and not really fun to go around in. However, San Francisco is vibrant, bustling, with crowds and fun things to do. There's never a dull moment in San Francisco, and it's definitely fun to play in Watch Dogs 2. Now, let's talk about how the game plays on PlayStation 4 Pro exclusively. Playing on Watch Dogs 2 on PlayStation 4 Pro has a lot of benefits over playing on PS4 or Xbox One. The game does play at native 1800p, which is a huge boost over the original PS4 version that runs at 1080p and the Xbox One version that runs at 900p. The game also has a lot of less jagged edges, which means the anti-aliasing is very much improved on PS4 Pro. There's no explanation on why the game looks a lot better on PS4 Pro and why the PS4 and Xbox One versions don't get this treatment, but I guess it's just to make the PS4 Pro version look a lot nicer. And the best part is, even if you're playing on a 1080p or a 4K display, you're definitely going to get a huge improvement. I know that I've been mentioning the anti-aliasing and the jagged edges a lot. However, it is worth mentioning that those are probably the best selling point to the game overall. Yes, the game does display a higher resolution, and it does get upscaled to 4K, but overall, it's definitely a lot noticeable. The fact that the jagged edges on most ends of buildings are very noticeable how jagged they are on PS4 and Xbox One. And on PS4 Pro, it's not noticeable at all. So it's a very nice touch from Ubisoft. And now, if we're talking about the frame rate is not bad either. Now, previously, it was having problems on the PS4 Pro, but successfully, Ubisoft released a patch to fix it on PS4 Pro, so the game does look and play very nice, similar to how it should play on PS4 regular. And now, let's talk about the verdict. Watch Dogs 2 does indeed salvage the boring, depressing atmosphere that the first game had, and it's definitely a very good choice to have a better protagonist, a good city to explore, and revamped systems such as the driving and the gameplay overall. Playing on PlayStation 4 Pro is definitely the best way of playing the game on a home console, unless, of course, there's PC, and I would definitely recommend it over the PS4 or Xbox One versions. However, it is overall a great game across all platforms, but if you want the best of the best, I suggest picking up the game for PS4 Pro. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the game. That the fact that it wasn't continuing the whole stealth trend that the first Watch Dogs did, and although it does open up the option to let you do things stealth-wise, the game is more action-oriented. That has the same attitude of guns a-blazing style that's similar to Grand Theft Auto 5. It's not a bad way of playing. It's just not the way I would like to play. That's why I'm giving Watch Dogs 2 an 8.5 out of 10 on PlayStation 4 Pro. So what do you guys think of my score of Watch Dogs 2 on PS4 Pro? Do you agree with it, or do you think I was being a little bit harsh? Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and be sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.